Well, hi there, and welcome to our Sunday Song Time. Yes, here on the first Sunday in March of 2024. So, happy month to you. And, it's funny if you lived in this part of the world, here in Canada, we've had like really warm days and really cold days and sometimes all in the same day. But I guess the weather experts are saying that's going to kind of be the rest of this winter and into spring here on in. Kind of like the ups and downs, the roller coasters. So we're going to get some really nice warm days and sunshine and cold days and snow. Well, welcome to Ontario. That's kind of how it works. But anyway, thanks for tuning our way with these. I have a very simple song for you this time. In fact, I don't even think I've ever actually sung this song, although I used to play it quite a bit, especially on the radio. Well, back in the day. And every now and again, I still do play it. It's from a woman whose name is Evie. She just went by the one name, Evie. And some of you will remember her back in the 70s and 80s. And she was a contemporary Christian music artist. And I was thinking about some of those, I could almost say simpler days. I don't know. And maybe it's just I was simpler. Life was simpler in some senses, right? And I was just thinking back as I look out over the landscape of the world today and thinking, boy, it'd be good to get back to some simpler things. Now, you got to be careful when you look back. In fact, even Solomon in the book of Ecclesiastes, he said, hey, it's not wise to say, hey, the good old days were better than today. No. And even Jesus, he said, your hands on a plow, you got to keep moving forward. We're moving forward. But it is kind of neat sometimes to just look back a little bit and reminisce. There's nothing wrong with that. But I was also just, thinking about, simpler time. And, looking out over the landscape of the world today. And thinking about how many people, and maybe even in the younger generation, I was once in that. But even those of us who are older, we've been running after things that we've been promised, right? For instance, the other day, somebody gave me a little devotional book. It was from their pastor, and he's a fellow that I think he's even on television here in Canada. And I opened up the little devotional book, and the first line was something like, "It is never the will of God that any of his children should ever be sick." And I thought, all right. So anyway, you know where that devotional went. It went in the round file. Well, life is difficult. And I think sometimes as you get older, maybe even it becomes more of that. And so a lot of people were told things that just aren't true. And you may be in a place right now where you find yourself disillusioned, disheartened, perhaps. Well, got a song for you. It comes from Evie, and like I say, it's a simple song. Very simple, just 2 verses and a chorus. And, Evie, bless her heart, she's, I found out we're just about the same age. Yes, she was born just a few days before me. So, anyway, we're the same age. All right, later 60s, let's just say. But back when she was a young lady, she just did these pretty songs. And she kind of made fun of the fact that she was a little tiny person, pretty short. And so she had a song one time it was called I'm only 4'11", but I'm going to heaven and it makes me feel 10 feet tall. Bum bum. That kind of stuff. But she did this song, and a few people have done it, but it's kind of associated with her. And so I was thinking about Evie today and thinking about some of those simpler times. So maybe I'll bring back some memories for you with this one. But as simple as it is, I hope you'll think about the main message, and it's in the title, and it's this: give them all to Jesus. Are you tired of chasing pretty rainbows? Are you tired of spinning round and round? Wrap up all those shattered dreams of your life and at the feet of Jesus lay them down. Give them all, give them all, give them all to Jesus. Shattered dreams, wounded hearts, broken toys. Give them all, give them all, give them all to Jesus, and He will turn your sorrows into joys. He never said you'd only see sunshine. He never said there'd be no rain. He only promised a heart full of singing about the very things that once brought pain. Give them all, give them all, give them all to Jesus. Shattered dreams, wounded hearts, and broken toys. Give them all, give them all, give them all to Jesus, and He will turn your sorrow into joy. Give them all, give them all, give them all to Jesus. Shattered dreams, wounded hearts, and broken toys. Give them all, give them all, give them all to Jesus, and He will turn your sorrow into joy. Yes, He will turn your sorrow into joy. Give them all to Jesus. Now, as I said, a simple song. He only said that, you only promised a heart full of singing. Well, no, but there's truth in that, by the way. He only promised a heart full of singing about the very thing that once brought pain. The scriptures tell us that for the joy set before Him, Jesus endured the cross. And He did that on our behalf, of course. I want to share a couple verses about giving all to Jesus, all the shattered dreams, all the broken toys, all the empty promises, all the things that are coming up empty in your life, and you're thinking, wow, hey, I think it was the Eagles that sang a song, and I remember the line in it was, you followed the wrong gods home. Have you done that? Are you thinking to yourself, man, I was promised something here, and well, give them all to Jesus. And think of this promise. I think I've shared it with you before, but it comes from Matthew chapter 11. And in verse 28, He says, come to me. And you'll always discover when Jesus talks about making any kind of an invitation, it is never go to church. No, it's come to me. Now, of course, I'm a pastor of a church. Go to church. No, but He says, come to me. That's where we find life. And come to me, all you who are weary and burdened. Wow. Does that not describe Canada in 2024 or wherever you're living right now? Are you weary and burdened? Jesus says, come to me and I will give you rest. Take my yoke upon you and learn from me. For I am gentle and humble in heart, and you will find rest for your souls. For my yoke is easy, and my burden is light. So if someone has been putting you under a harder yoke or making life more burdensome for you, that's not the way of Jesus. Now, I have this little note and I want to leave it with you. And by the way, I was looking on YouTube the other day and they had these people that create what they call prayer Bibles. And they have like all these little colored tabs and little designs and drawings. And I thought, wow, I'm really not that crafty. But I did see someone who showed us all how to insert notes in our own Bible. And in fact, this is glue sticked in. It's there forever and ever. Well, it just said so much to me, and I want to leave you with these words. They come from John Ortland. And Mr. Ortland started off with that quote that I just read to you. As Jesus says, "Come to me, all you who are weary. You'll find rest for your souls. My yoke is easy. My burden is light." We think of those, the picture of the oxen, right, that are yoked together with that wooden yoke. And so then they're able to work together. Jesus wants us. He wants us, and he wants us to, well, as that song says, give them all to Jesus. Roll everything over on, because his side of the yoke is the heavy side, right? Well, you ever remember when you were a kid and your dad said, "Hey, would you help me lift this?" "Sure, Dad." Well, he always took the heavier end, right? But he wanted you to help out. And that's kind of what Jesus does. He takes the heavier end. But listen to these words from John Ortland. He says that easy is a soul word, not a circumstance word. Aim at having easy circumstances, and life will be hard all round. Yeah, don't believe anyone who tells you that, because you're a Christian now, you'll never be sick or never have trouble. Oh, no. Jesus promised you would have trouble, but then he said, "Take heart, I've overcome this world." Now, John Ortland says, don't aim at easy circumstances. No, he said, aim at having an easy soul. And your capacity for tackling hard assignments will actually grow. The soul was not made for an easy life. The soul was made for an easy yoke. Having trouble in your life? Things in this world that are damaging to your very soul? Ooh, it's all out there, isn't it? Give it to Jesus. Give it to Jesus. Take his yoke upon you. Learn from him. Takes time. But then someday you're going to look back. You're going to look back and even be able to sing as you see all the troubles in your life. God didn't waste a single one of them. They all were there for a purpose and a reason. And someday you're going to maybe even sing about the very thing that once brought pain. And God bless you, Evie, wherever you are. I think she still sings a little bit these days. Give them all to Jesus. Wow, can't say it better than that. God bless you.